finally back in Berlin, and we had such a lovely time in Roche, which is where our holiday home is. We had so much fun, but being back in Berlin is really nice, although we've come back to the absolute hottest day or hottest month in the year. So it would have been the perfect month to have been in Roche because the sea is there all the time and it is just so hot. I am seriously so hot. Today should be 40 degrees Celsius in Berlin. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit. It's definitely over 100 degrees. And living in Germany, we don't have air conditioning, which is totally fine. I'm actually not the biggest fan of air conditioning. I always feel like, I don't know, just the air when you have air conditioning on just, it can be nice sometimes, don't get me wrong, but generally speaking, oh, I don't know. I guess they both have their perks. But anyway, I'm so hot, and I'm so happy that I am not a yarn dyer, because I know that Kristen from Full and Vine Yarns is sweating her booty off dyeing yarn. Although I know that she had a fantastic week up at the Cape Cod. I can't wait to hear all about that on her podcast and from her in general. But anyway, so yeah, we're back in Berlin, and I finished something on my last days at the holiday home. So that is my Featherweight out of Fairy Hair, Wool and Vine Yarns in Heroica base. I am in no way trying this on. That is how hot it is. I will not even put it on my skin for 1 second because I am sticky. So I told you guys that I had only brought 2 skeins of this yarn with me, which was such a joke, and I was completely bummed. I could not even believe it that I had 2 skeins of this yarn. I thought, oh my goodness, I brought this with me because it's supposed to be cooler, and now I can't even wear it. I cannot even wear it. Well, what ended up happening is I thought, you know what, I'm just going to knit on it. I'm just going to knit on it until I finish yarn. I desperately want to knit on it and enjoy it, and who cares? Let's see how far we get. So I knit on it and knit on it and knit on it, and I was talking to Kristen, and I sent her a picture, and I was like, oh my goodness, I almost have no yarn. I finished my arms, and I had gotten to the collar, and I was on the bind off, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm getting this far, I'm getting this far. I had just a teeny tiny ball of yarn left, and I completely was playing yarn chicken at this point. And I did it. It worked. I knit the collar all the way as long as I could with the second skein until I thought, okay, now is a good time to bind off. And I definitely bound off at the right time because I ended up, let's see if I have it. I ended up with a very, very small skein of yarn. I do have it. I can feel it at the bottom. Or it wasn't even a skein, it was a little ball. So it's kind of stuck in here. I have one of my new projects in my favorite bag, but this is all that was left. That's it. So I don't think I could have gotten another row in. No way. This could make a bunny nugget though, a really cute one, and I haven't made one in a while, so maybe that's what that would be for. I almost forgot to show you the sweater. That would have been not good. So here it is in all of its glory. I love it. I adore it. I think it is beautiful. The funny thing is, I was not able to wear it. So it's perfect. This yarn, when I was talking with Kristen about a new featherweight that I wanted to knit, we really talked about a lot of different yarn bases and what would be nice for wearing, and she suggested this one. She said, you know, my Vollica base, it drapes amazingly well. It's so perfect for garments. It's nice and warm with the merino cashmere. You've got to try it out. And so obviously I tried it out, and I'm so happy that I did because it's one that can lay right up against your skin. I have worn it even with a sleeveless shirt over it in the evenings or with a short sleeve shirt. I haven't paired it yet with a long sleeve shirt because it hasn't been that cool that I can wear a long sleeve shirt and a sweater. But I love it. This is the second featherweight that I've knit for those of you who just started watching. And the pattern is by Hannah Fedig, and I'm kind of thinking about a third one. I know that that sounds so silly because there are so many beautiful sweaters out there, but something about the featherweight is so, it's completely relaxing. It's definitely a mindless knit. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. One thing that I am learning from knitting garments is that superwash wool, and while I already knew this, is that it stretches so much. The featherweight, the first featherweight that I knit, this featherweight that I knit, a couple of cardigans and sweaters that I knit for Elodie, all of them have completely stretched when I've washed and blocked them. At least 33% of the length that was already there. So I definitely kept that in mind when I knit this featherweight. And I knit the arms so that they were too short. I knit the body so it was shorter than I wanted. And I was completely lucky because it blocked out perfectly. It is so perfect. The sleeve length comes exactly to here. It doesn't go over my hands. The bottom of the sweater rests perfectly at my hips. It's exactly as I wanted it to be. So definitely when knitting garments in superwash, I'm going to keep that in mind always, because I've had a couple of mishaps in the past. So this was really the first sweater for myself that I love. I've knit the Wood Stove Season by Alicia Plummer, and I never wear that cardigan. And the reason why, it has nothing to do with the cardigan, but I chose a completely wrong yarn. I don't know why I knit a sweater out of that yarn for myself. I don't know, it just didn't knit up nicely. And I have a whole nother sweater's quantity of that yarn in a burnt orange. Anyway, I won't continue talking about it because you can't see it, so maybe I'll bring that on the show next time. I would love to start filming weekly shows. I would really like to do that now that I'm back at home working, but there are only so many hours in the day. So the other thing that I was knitting was the Broderie, or I don't know how you pronounce it, Broderie by Lisa Chemery, and she publishes under the name Froggy Net. And I did a test knit for her, and this is the pattern that I test knit. I did it in the 3-month size because you have to have a model to try it on, and Ruby is 3 months on the 11th of this month, on the 11th of August. So I still have ends to weave in, but this is finished. I finished it last night, and here, I'll take the needle out of there, I guess. And I have to put buttons on, but that's it. The knitting is finished. So this is how it looks. There's a dress version and a shirt version. I decided to knit the dress, and it's so funny. The hilarious thing is this dress has the same stitching as my shawl. So that was fun. That was really fun to go ahead and do. I used Miss Bab's Yummy yarn. The base is called Yummy. It's a sport weight. And this is her Belle colorway. And it's really pretty. It's mauve, all different shades of purple and gray. And then even a little light undertone of pink. I think it's really cute. And I think that this will be a perfect layering piece. The problem is I have to take pictures of it of her in it today, and I will have the fan blasting on her because, as I said, I'm not even putting my featherweight on myself. So to ask her to put this on is terrible, but we have to have pictures submitted today. So I'm gonna have to do it, but I think with the fan it will be fine. I'll just put on some cute leggings and this and snap a picture and rip it off immediately. But like I said, I think it will be a really, really nice layering piece for the fall and winter with a long sleeve shirt underneath and some cute little tights. I think it will be really, really nice. And right now it's kind of tunic size for her, but pretty much a short sleeve shirt, so I cannot see that this will last long. I think when she grows out of it, I will probably rip it out and knit it longer and bigger, knit the bigger size, because I really, really like it. So it's cute. It was a really fun knit. It honestly took a little bit longer than I thought, and maybe that's just because I was rushed a little bit in the end to knit it, because we were gone on holiday for so long, and I didn't take this with. I had a lot of shop work to do along with that. So that took a bit of my time out of the week. I knit on that, I would say, the most this week. And I had that in my amazingly knit and stitch bits bag. I think this is beautiful. I follow her on Instagram and she posted this bag, and I just commented and said, you know, that bag is gorgeous. And she was so kind and sent me a message and said that she actually bought it and thought about me. So she wanted to send me one. And I couldn't believe it. I was really, really happy, and I feel really grateful. I'm really happy that she decided to go ahead and send me this bag. It will definitely be one that I probably constantly have a project in, because I love looking at it. I think it's so pretty. The only thing that I miss having on this bag is a label. I would love to have a little label with your name on it. So I'm always looking at it and always saying and always knowing, oh, that's from Knit and Stitch Bits. But I love it. You guys have to go and check out her Etsy shop. It is a really nice bag for extremely cheap. I think this is the nicest bag for the price that I have ever come across. So I'm very, very pleased with the quality. She finishes everything really, really nicely. And then inside she just has some cream yellow, pastel yellow lining. And I like it. It's wonderful. And I have on it my cute little turtle progress keeper, which I was using for my broderie little shirt for Ruby. The next thing that I have been working on a little bit, and not too much, are Robert's socks. I think last time I just was finishing the heel, and I've probably knit 5 centimeters since then on the sock. This is one that I think I'll probably pick up in the fall again and knit a little bit more on. Oh my goodness, there's a leaf from Roach in there. Funny, maybe I'll keep that in there for a little while. And I have this in my teeny tiny Freckled Whimsy bag. I posted a giveaway on Instagram for a Freckled Whimsy bag, a drop spindle, and then 2 fuzzlings that I purchased from the Fondant Fiber. And I did announce the giveaway. I've had a couple of people asking me who the giveaway is, and if you go and look at the thread on Instagram, it says the giveaway winner is Holly Yogi 92, and I can't show those things now because they've already been sent off to her. So Holly Yogi 92, we've already talked. Your package is already on its way to you, so I hope you really love it. I know you're a new drop spindler, new spinner in general. So I hope you have so much fun with that, and you enjoy your bag and your spindle and your fiber. So much fun. I hope you love it. I guess since I finished a sweater, what does that mean? It means that I need to go ahead and get another sweater on my needles. I have been waiting. I have been seeing this pattern from Infinite Twist. The pattern is by Anna Muds, and it's called Kermies or Camies. And Camies means fair in Dutch, which is, I guess, what she named it after. And I love it. I really, really love it. So this is what the sweater looks like. It's so bright and colorful, and I really want kind of a colorful sweater in my life. So I'm knitting this a medium as well. I want it to be just a little bit cuddly, that I can wear a couple of, well, a layer underneath of it. And I got mine in the, I think it's apple toffee or just toffee colorway. So I have gone ahead and cast it on. The first color that I have cast it on with is this red. And all of Infinite Twist's yarns are spun, so, or hand spun, which is really, really cool. Makes it so unique and amazing. And with the what is it even called? With the kit, you get needles, you get all of your stitch markers, you get a ruler, you get a little pen, and you get your buttons. So while that is awesome, oh, and you get a darning needle. I didn't get gauge with the needles. So they're really nice. They're just bamboo, I believe. They're bamboo needles, and I didn't get a chance to use them, so I honestly can't properly review the needles. But I got gauge with one size larger. It called for a 3.25 and a 3.75, and I'm going to use a 3.5 and a 4. And I'm using my marbles. Love these needles. Love Knit Pro needles. They're my favorite. So, whoops. I just cast on, I have a total tangle. I just cast on the first row, which seems like so many. I am so curious. This does not seem like a medium to me. I feel like this is going to be massive, massive, massive. But I got gauge. I'm just a little bit confused on the gauge. Because this almost has the same measurements as my Featherweight, and the cast on is so much more. Doesn't that look massive? I don't know. And it's even more than that. It just looks huge to me. But I'm gonna go ahead with it. If it's oversized, that's totally cool. I think it will look fine, kind of regardless the size, because oversized is completely in style, at least here in Berlin anyway. So whatever, I like it. That will be after I finish my shawl for my mom, which I'll show you in a minute. That will be the next thing that I am really, really wanting to work on, because fall is coming and I want to have a sweater. Also, that isn't the best project to be working on these next 2 weeks, because like I said, it's every day is in the 30s for the next 2 weeks, so that's just disgusting. The colors that are in that shawl are crazy. They're so crazy. So this is the first color that I'm using, and it's her Helix base. It's 100% merino, which is so cool. I love that it's not superwash. It's a fun change. And this is the Red Devil colorway. This is the same yarn base that I knit my shawl by Susan B. Anderson. Not the Come Up May one, the other one, which I can't think of the name. Sorry, Susan. It's the green one. It's the pattern that's put out by Infinite Twist. A really, really beautiful lacy shawl. So then the next color is this kind of more corally pink. This is a very colorful shawl, like I said. And then there's this gorgeous, completely molly pink. Like that one a lot. A purple. It's called Andy's Pink, even though to me it looks way more purple than pink. Marina, perfectly named. blue. And then there are these. This is my absolute favorite base from Infinite Twist. And this is the King High hand spun. And this colorway is Jadeite, and this colorway is Mint Chip. And I love this base. It's so lofty and squishy, and I think I'm completely wrong. I don't think these are hand spun. I think these ones are mill spun, but these ones are definitely hand spun, and they're amazing. I think they will add a really, really nice texture to the top of the shawl. And you can go ahead and you can look at Infinite Twist and see what all the colorways there are for the Kermie's pattern. And the cool thing about Infinite Twist is that she puts together, Kate, she puts together kits for you. And you can pick, for this one, for example, there are 3 different like colorways that you can choose for your sweater. But you could even write her and say, hey, you know, I want a Kermie's kit, or I want this shawl, I want this, whatever, but I want it in these colorways. Could you do that for me? And she'll do it. So it's a lot of fun. I think when you go and look at the kits, they seem kind of like a big number in a way, but they're not at all. When you think about it, I got so much yarn. I got 3 skeins of the red, 3 skeins of the coral, 3 skeins of the pink, and then a skein of each of the purple and the blue, so that you can knit whatever size you need. And it's a little over €100, $100, I believe. And that is such a good price for some yarn that is hand dyed, some yarn that's hand spun, needles, buttons, a pattern, everything. So I'm completely pleased with that knit. I'm so happy to have that. I think the final thing that I've been knitting on is my Whispering Pines. So this is for my mom. It is out of Spin Monkeys yarn. Tara is the dyer for Spin Monkeys. And this is her silverback colorway. And I love it. I feel like I need to knit out of all of the singles yarn because I don't know, I love knitting with it. First of all, I like the way it feels in my hands. I like the way it knits up. I think it looks really beautiful. It just shows such a different sort of more plump knit stitch and purl stitch, and I think it's really pretty. I think I would like to maybe design something out of a singles because it's gorgeous and it's fun to knit with, and I know that when this washes it is going to be uber soft, and Tara was telling me it will plump up even more really nicely, so I can't wait. I have a bit done on this. It's hard to show once you've knit a bit. It's always hard to show, and I don't have the longest cable on my needle because I don't really like knitting with a long cable that you can stretch your entire piece out on. I like it to be shorter so that it kind of weighs out more evenly as you're knitting. I'm knitting these out of my rosewood needles. Love them. They're really nice. And this will definitely be finished before my mom gets here. I'm enjoying it. It's a nice, easy, very relaxing. I love the textured section, which is exactly why I designed it. I wanted it to be something that people could get out of one skein of yarn and could just easily and relaxingly, could just easily knit without thinking too much until you get to the lace section. And even that, I've had so many questions of if it's a good beginner pattern. I think a shawl in general with a lace border, with a simple lace border, is a very good beginner pattern. I would just suggest using stitch markers. Use stitch markers for every single repeat. I think that is so important, and it can drive you crazy because even now, even after knitting for, oh my goodness, I don't even know how many years I've been knitting. 20 plus years, 22, 21 years. I still find that I need to put those in. It's so funny. I will be knitting a shawl pattern and I will get to the lace part and I will become lazy and too proud and think I don't need to use them, and I will knit the row. I'll get to the end of the row and think, wait, the numbers aren't making sense. I have one stitch too many. I don't have enough stitches to finish this repeat. Rip it out, knit it back again, same problem again, rip it back, put the markers in as I go. Everything works out perfectly. And in the last 2 shawls that I've knit, that has been the case. So, except for the campsite, I didn't have a problem with that. But I think it was the last 2 Susan B. Anderson shawls, to be honest. Anyway, I think when I'm knitting this, I will probably go ahead and do the stitch markers. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be proud again and won't do it. The final thing, I'm drinking a smoothie. We are smoothie obsessed. Robert's mom got us a smoothie machine. I have been previously making smoothies in just the blender, but the smoothie machine works wonders. It's amazing. So, did not mean to slurp. So, it's a perfect thing in the morning. 8OD loves them, which is wonderful because it's really healthy. Robert loves spinach in his smoothie. I don't put it in mine. It's not that I don't like it. I don't know. I have a smoothie that I make. I have a smoothie that I love, and that's what I'm sticking to. I just put strawberries, bananas, and a little teeny bit of yogurt, and that's it. And it's amazing. It's delicious. I love it. Sometimes I put blueberries. Robert bought a massive, seriously like this big, box of blueberries. So I think when I make a smoothie later today, which I definitely will because it's a really good cold treat on this hot day, I will add some blueberries to it. And I keep the strawberries frozen so that it's very cold and fresh. So that's what I've been enjoying. I have been drinking probably too much coffee, and that is because someone sent me some freaking amazing coffee. I'll talk about that in just a minute because I haven't shown you my finished weaving that you guys have never ever seen. So this is the first weaving that I ever did, and I'm really proud of it. I feel like it's a really, really nice piece for a beginner weaver. I did this on my little lap loom that I will be selling in the shop kit. I had a lot of fun with this. I put some of my own hand spun yarn in there. I put some hand dyed yarn from a friend of the podcast in there, some roving in there, and then a gradient. And then this beautiful minty green. I love it. And then this is just 100% alpaca, which feels amazing. I love, 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 love alpaca. And then I just hung it on a little branch, and I have it hanging on the wall. The other one that I was doing while I was in Roche is hanging on the wall. I forgot to take that down. So that will be another thing. I hope I can remember that in my wood stove season to show you guys next podcast. I have received so many amazing things this past week, or the past 3 weeks of being gone. The first thing that I was talking about is some coffee. And this one it's poured into our little coffee container, or from Amanda from, oh goodness, what's her podcast? I really actually like it. I think it's called So Nitpicky, not another podcast. So Nitpicky as her Ravelry name, or her Instagram name. And she has an Etsy shop called Lammy Toes, which she makes gorgeous yarn. I'll talk about that in a minute. So we did a swap, and she sent me some Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut coffee which is amazing. Robert, who isn't the hugest fan of flavored coffee, really likes this. So he's already had a big cup of it this morning. And yesterday I probably had 6 cups. And then she sent this, oh, it smells amazing. Oh, it smells amazing. She sent this s'mores coffee from Archer Farms. Flavors of graham, chocolate, and toasted marshmallow. What can be better than that? We were talking about s'mores when we were in a coach because Germans don't know what they are. At least the Germans I know. I'm sure some Germans know what they are, of course. But, yeah. Anyway, we were talking about them. We didn't make them, but, yeah. Everyone who was there, has never had them. So she sent those 2 bags of coffee. Then she sent me some gorgeous, really, really cute washi tape, which I adore. I think it's she picked it perfect for me, Amanda. You did a perfect job. She sent these little trees and houses. It's kind of Scandinavian looking. I think she mentioned that. And then this pretty pink one with little flowers on it. And then she sent me some gorgeous mini skeins. So this one is her own. Whoops! Lammy toes, I think. Or no, it's not. That's completely not true. This one is her own, of course. And then she sent me these 3. Totally my colors. This is one of her skeins that I really, really loved. And I was considering getting for the swap. So this is my all-time favorite yarn of hers. She posted a picture of her knitting it on Instagram, and I have been after her forever to dye me up a skein for our swap. So she finally did. It's on her Poppet MCN. I love that name, Poppet. I love the name of that base. It's an 80-10-10, 400 yards, 100 grams of merino cashmere nylon, and it is called Birds of a Feather. You guys, could that be any more beautiful? It is the most perfect yarn. I love the speckles in it. I love the pink. It's so funny because you know I'm not a neon person, but the pink in here is definitely neon. But I think the black and the mustard color really, really tone it down a lot. But I really, really like that one. So then the other one that she sent me, I wanted to try out her Moon Pie Merino base, which is just a 70-25 standard sock base, 463 yards, and it's Molly's Experiment. So this is kind of a colorway that I told her what I had in mind, and she dyed it up. So it's, again, a very pretty pink with brighter pink splotches and black speckles as well. Doesn't she have the cutest little labels? And then on the other side it says, "Hello Kitten," Lammy toes, and then her information. Love it. And then she added these really funny cat page markers, which are so sweet. I will definitely be using those for my journaling. And I just ordered the coolest planner because I decided that I need to be one of the cool kids and get a planner. Amanda from So Nitpicky is kind of journaling in her planner, and I was really inspired by it, and I thought, I need to get one too. I need to be a planner person. I need to plan my day, my shop, etc. and so forth. So the next person who I swapped with was Tara from Spin Monkeys, and she sent me that singles yarn, and then she sent me this one, which is a special one that is not normally available in her shop. It's a 50-50 merino silk, and this colorway is called the Bride's Bouquet. It is a non-superwash, which is cool, and it's so shiny and it's so soft, and I bet it will be extremely drapey and beautiful and make a gorgeous, gorgeous shawl. I've never knit with a 50-50 merino silk. blend. So I think that will be a lot of fun. And the purpley, the grayish purple periwinkle is beautiful. I can't wait to try that out. So she also sent me this big pack of mini skeins. I have no idea what I will use them for, but as Tara and I discussed, they're perfect for heels and toes. I guess I can turn it out. They're perfect for heels and toes. Birds of Happiness, Bunny Nuggets, Cozy Memories blankets, what have you. So those are really pretty. They're fun. I love that there are so many different color choices. And I love that I get to see all of her different yarns. So this is all out of her Revolution sock base, which is an 80-20 blend. She also sent me some perfect stitch markers. And this is a really nice size. They're good for socks, good for small shawls, of all different colors, all different beads, and you can never have too many stitch markers. So that was really, really nice. Something else that she sent me that I'm remembering right now is like a little sample of Bumble and Bumble hair oil and some conditioner and shampoo. I loved the hair oil. It was amazing. I told her I'm going to have to buy some from her next time we do a swap for her to add. So that was a super, super fun swap. The other thing, I have a couple more things. Sorry, something's fell on the floor. I have a couple more things that came in the mail today, or not today, the last week. I got some more stitch markers because you can never have too many stitch markers from Color Rings by Ellie. And these are, I just love knitting with just plain stitch markers, just like the ones that I showed you. And I'm using these in my Whispering Pines blanket. So these are the color that I'm using right now. And I think they're so pretty. I love the, it's like a crazy shade of pinky purple with a really beautiful bead. And then I got these pink and red ones in her extra small size, her medium size, again the same purple, pink, and then there's blue and green. And then in the large size, again, that same sort of color. So I really like these. They're amazing quality. These are so cheap. I think they're €2 and some change for a package, which is a steal. So I'm enjoying using them. I really, really am happy with the quality. The little cards that they come on are super cute. She gave me some to use for a giveaway, so that is really exciting. I'm thinking that I will probably host another giveaway on Instagram either today or tomorrow. So keep your eyes open for that. It will kind of be another little fun package like the last one. Maybe a project bag, some yarn. I might even include a book, and some definitely stitch markers from Colorings by Ellie. Love them. Ellie was so nice that in the package, obviously so unexpected, she included 2 skeins of Knit Picks Stroll Tweed. This is extremely soft. I really, really love it. I know that The Fawn and the Fox, it's a podcast, The Fawn and the Fox. I think that's what it's called. I really love that podcast. That is one that I have been enjoying so much lately. And or The Fawn Knits. It's called The Fawn Knits. That's what it's called. I had to look it up quick to know. But I know that Lara knits some socks, or she's maybe knitting some socks for her husband with Knit Picks Tweed. And I know that she didn't like it as much as the Regia, but to me it almost feels nicer than Fakia. It's definitely softer, but I have a feeling that this one will be a very stretchy superwash, so I definitely will take care of that. But I think this will be a pair of socks for Robert. It's gorgeous, and she knows that I love tweed, so I thought that was extremely nice for her to send that. But back to about the fawn knits. I don't know why I wanted to say the fawn and the fox. She has such a nice personality. Her videos at the beginning, I think they started out a little bit dark, and so for me I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I love the podcast, but I stuck with it. I kept watching it, and I love it now. She's brightened up her space. It's a lot, like I said, a lot brighter where she is, and it's just really nice. I love the projects that she's knitting on. She just knit a Whispering Pines shawl. I think it's one of the most gorgeous Whispering Pines shawls I have seen. It's kind of a creamy beige color, and then she knit the edge with this almost neon coral sort of color, and I need to knit a shawl out of those colors, I've decided, because it looks so amazing. I like to listen to her. I'm always interested in what she has to say, and I really enjoy her podcast. So I would say if you're going to go and check out The Fawn and the Fox, I would say The Fawn Knits, I would say watch her most recent podcast, or her most recent couple of ones, and then go ahead and start again from the beginning. Yeah, just because I feel like always your first podcast is always kind of a little bit more difficult, but it's really good now. I'm not saying anything bad about your podcast, Laura. I really, really enjoy it, and I think it's really well done. It's completely professional. You've gotten the perfect hang of it now, and really quickly. I mean, you're only a couple of episodes in, so yeah. The next podcast that I also really, really like is one that's been going on for a little while, and I think it's called Andre Sue. I better look at this one too. I think it's called Andre Sue Knits, and it is on YouTube, and I really, really like this podcast. She is super cute. I enjoy everything that she has to talk about as well. Goodness gracious, the YouTube app on the phone has changed so much, and it's just, you almost can't even use it. Yes, it's called Andre Sue Knits, and I like it. I really, really like it. She has her daughter on the episode sometimes, showing what she's working on. Sometimes it's not even knitting. I think first it kind of started with, she's a dyer, Andre Sue Knits. She's a dyer, so she has a shop where she dyes yarn and sock blanks, and she knits really, really beautiful things. And I haven't even watched all of the episodes. I'm in the beginning, and she kind of has shawl fever going on right now, and she knit herself and her daughter a beautiful, beautiful shawl out of some sock blanks that she dyed, and then her daughter dyed a shawl, or the yarn for the shawl, and now her daughter's slowly starting to knit, and she's getting into candle making, and I don't know, I think Andy, that's her name, is the name of the woman who does the show. She's really real. You can tell that when she's talking with you, that's who she is, and same with Laura of the Fawn Knits. Laura, they're just not putting on any sort of front. They're doing exactly as they do, and they're not trying to show you a pretend person, if that makes any sense. So I've really been enjoying those two podcasts. Go check them out. Run. Check it out. The next yarn that I got, I know this is a lot, but it's been 3 weeks, okay? And I had to get this because it is called the Golden Snitch. And it's really beautiful. It's on my favorite kind of stellina base, which is the gold stellina. I prefer the gold stellina so much more to the silver. I like the silver, but if I were to buy and dye a stellina yarn, it would definitely be gold. Kristen from Wool and Vine uses a gold base too. So this is the Golden Snitch, and this is from API Fiber Company. It's hand-dyed yarn, spinning fiber, and more. And she has an Etsy shop. And this is so cool. It's just the same colors as the Snitch. Here's kind of a better picture of the colors. It's golden, it's mustardy yellow, greens, brown. I think it would be really fun. I think it would even make a beautiful shawl. I'm either thinking a shawl or a pair of mittens. I haven't completely decided yet. I guess once I open it up and start knitting with something, oh, it's so beautiful. I'll see. But it's a really, really pretty layered yarn. There are so many colors in it, and I know that when I'm knitting with it, I can't wait to knit with it. I'm just opening it up and looking through all of the different colors, and it's gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. So I haven't knit with Stellina Sparkly Yarn in a long time, so I'm excited to use that one. It's a fingering weight, and it has 438 yards, so I don't know what that will be. I just thought the name was super, super cool and had to have it. I love Harry Potter. I finally finished Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Not for the first time. I've read them many times, but now I'm starting the Half-Blood Prince. I think I'm only on to the 3rd chapter, but maybe I've got to knit this with this yarn while I'm listening to the audiobook. Because I like to go back and forth from listening and reading. When I'm doing something, I like to listen. When I want to sit and read, obviously I can read. It works out perfect. So that came in one of these little bags. I love when I order yarn and it comes in one of these little drawstring bags. It's so much different than the sealed bags. I don't know, just seems extra spiffy to me. I love the little drawstring bags. The other thing that I got was this Regia by Arne and Carlos yarn. So I got this in the 03657 colorway. I can't remember what the actual name of it is because they do have names to them, and these will be a pair of socks for me. I really, really like this colorway. Kristen from Wool and Vine Yarns and I are doing a swap in the future, and this is one of the things that I will be giving her for the swap. Not mine, but I got 2 skeins for her too, and I want to cast them on at the same time as her, so I will have to wait until she gets her package, and hopefully, Kristen, I haven't even talked to you about this, but I want to cast on these socks together and do a little knit along with these. I think that will be fun, and I will totally beat you and have mine finished first. No, I bet that's not true at all. I bet you will have yours finished first. But I love these. I'm really excited to be working on some pattern sock yarn because I don't think I have any more. I have 1 skein of Zauberball, and then these. All my other ones are just completely plain. They're just completely one-colored sock yarns. So, something else that I made this week. I sewed the sweetest little cushion for Elodie's stool that she sits on. It's so cute. It's out of some vintage calico fabric, and it has these really pretty dainty little pink ribbons on it. I'm looking at it right now. Maybe I'll try to go ahead and show you, but I love it. It's gorgeous. It's cute. She loves it. I've been working on a lot for the shop. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the logo that I have on my shop has changed. And the other one was really pretty, but A Homespun House is completely inspired by my grandma. I feel like I'm living the dream. I could have never imagined when I was little, of course, you think you can do everything, but as I got older, reality set in, and I realized, okay, I'm going to be, working all my life, and I don't know if I'm going to completely love what I'm doing, because I feel like the majority of people are not loving getting up and going to work and, doing their daily work routine, but I do, and I would have never have had this if it wasn't for my Grandma Sue. I would have never been this creative of a person. I don't know, but I don't think if I wouldn't have had her in my life, she's really the person who taught me to have a love for doing things with my hands and for making things and for appreciating handmade items. And she made me into a maker of things. And I just always remember being little and having so much fun looking through her craft room and seeing what she had been making and what she had been dreaming up and all of the ideas that she had. And even now when I go and visit her, she doesn't really have a craft room now because she's moved into a different house. But in the last 2 places she's lived, she always had a designated space for her crafting supplies. And I loved looking through everything with her. I love looking through everything with her. And just seeing things that she has created, or just little packages of ideas that she had and things that she wanted to put together. It's just really cool and always really fun, and it just sparked such an interest for me. So the reason why the logo has changed on a homespun house is because now the logo that I have is the stamped one that my grandma had. So it's the exact design that they used for their shop. And I just thought that was the next step at making a homespun house even more personal and special. I have so many things for the shop now. I have the kitty cat bag, and there are more than just one of each of these prints. I have this pretty one, the floral, black floral and mauves. Beautiful forest. This really pretty one. I love the colors of that one. I think it's such a neat print. This other pretty floral one, that one's kind of Scandinavian to me. Not sure why. The woman fishing with the beautiful deer and fawn and her pretty little sun hat. I love that one with the bunny peeking over the moon and jumping over the moon, playing in the grass in the fields. I have a really cool vintage one with vintage sewing material. I like that one a lot. Robert really liked that one. I was surprised that he liked that one, to be honest. I don't know why, I just was. So those are all of the different fabrics. I think there are 3 of each in the shop that will be up this week. Something else that I've added to the shop, I'm not going to show all of these because there are so many. I think I've sewn up 30 of these. But I can go ahead and show one. What one should I show you guys? There are so many different fabrics. Okay, so I'll show you a couple. So I have gone ahead and made these pretty little rolls for double pointed needles. So I'll show you one. So what it has is it has a little leather strap on it with a little charm at the end. Different charms for different ones. And then on the front it's linen with, this one has this really sweet little cat print. And then on the inside, these are just for double pointed needles. Well, you can use them for anything. I've put my stitch markers inside of there. I've kind of clipped them, my progress keepers. I've had a scissor in there. I think that's mostly all that I've kept in there. But the ideas are endless. You could even use these for a child, for you know, school stuff. So I love these. They were so much fun to make. I just think another fun thing to add to the shop. So I can show you a couple. I won't unpack all of them. I also have the forest one. I have those crazy, cranky looking kitty cats. I have another sort of fox and bird flying over with trees. Really pretty. I do have some llamas will be in there. I know a lot of people really like that print. Oops. I have the kitty cat and the mouse. I don't think that's a bag that I've offered in the shop yet, but I have fabric for a bag for that. I have this one again with the rabbit. There are, I feel like, way too many to show. I have this one with the foxes, and there are rabbits on there, different flowers, teacups, lots more. If you want to see, you can go ahead and look in the shop. I don't want to bore you with all of that. So that's been a lot of fun. I also am sewing up a lot of accessory pouches right now. These ones are almost finished. So I just have lots that are, these are not finished, just so you know. That's not what they look like. They still need to be finished sewing. I've just sewn the zippers on. But I have about 15 of those that are going in the shop this week as well. So it will be a pretty big shop update. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've been having so much fun. I'm happy to be home working at the shop. I can't believe the weekend is already here. It flew by so fast. But yeah, it's nice to be back in Berlin. I hope that you guys are having a really nice day and have a really lovely weekend ahead. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.